Good Saturday morning and welcome back to Scale Auto Guy's Workbench. Today we're starting this 1967 Mustang GT Fastback by AMT and round 2. I got this on a clearance sale at Walmart quite a few months back. It's been sitting on the shelf waiting for its turn. This one is an interesting kit, and by that I mean, well, I'll show you in just a second. There isn't a parts count on the back, but there's only, 4 or 5 parts trees. But this car does have a couple of interesting features, and well, let's get started with the body, and that's the most interesting part of it all. Back here where your deck lid, trunk lid would normally be, it says remove. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but you cut it out along that line and it has a separate trunk lid, so you can open the trunk lid. I don't know if it's going to have a finished trunk in there or not. We'll have to wait and see. There is a little bit of flash on the body to clean up. Not too bad considering the age of this kit. It is a 2021 production, but it's using probably 1967 molds if we're lucky. It does have a separate front end piece, separate rear end piece, but yeah, overall the body looks pretty good, with the exception of that little bit of flash, and that's normal. That's normal. Here's your chassis frame assembly. Like I said, I don't know if there's going to be a plate back here that finishes off the trunk or not, but it does have separate everything, separate exhaust and suspension parts, so that'll be kind of cool. Here's your first parts tree, mostly engine parts and suspension parts. This one here has got your front and rear, I don't know if you call them fascias or, well, front and rear end. Here's your replacement deck lid, firewall, seat back. So far I'm not seeing anything that would indicate a finished off trunk, but that doesn't say that I can't finish it off. And I don't think there's any hinges. Let's look at that again. Yeah, there's no hinges on that. There is a little bit of flash though, so I'm not sure. What's the point of having you cut that out and glue this in place? That doesn't make sense. I guess it gives you the option of having a separate trunk lid if you want to open it, hinge it. Maybe, I don't know. Here's your front and rear seats. And the only option for the hood doesn't have any scored parts for a cutout, so this can only be built as stock unless you want to cut out the hood and put a different engine in. I suppose you could do that. It's nothing stopping you from doing that. Separate door panels, which are nice because you can get in there and detail paint those to your heart's content. I always like that. I hate trying to get into an interior tub and paint that angle. All the lines are off and it's hard to get a straight line with your paintbrush. You can't really foil it too well. I mean, you can, but it's difficult. So I like when they have the separate door panels. You can basically do with them whatever you want, as far as putting foil on them, etc., etc. Here's your exhaust system. It's a 2-piece exhaust system, but it's all separate from the chassis, which is nice. Here's your chrome tree. Gives you 2 different style valve covers, exhaust tips. Only one style of wheel. That's I mean, that's all right, but it would have been nice to have a choice, something a little different, maybe a turbine type mag wheel or a Craig Super Sport. I guess these are pretty close to Craig Super Sports. They're the stock rally wheels. They should be all right, I guess, with a little bit of proper painting. Next up is your taillights and your glass. Separate turn signal. Oh, is that turn signal? No. Maybe those are turn signal. Maybe they're reverse lights. But your four headlights. This only got two. I'm screwed up. Anyway, a couple of spares. Maybe some driving lights. Yeah, that's what it is. Driving lights. I forgot that the GT has that option. Next up is your decal sheet. Gives you 3 different colored GT stripes, a couple different license plates, some engine decals and under hood stuff, gauges, which is nice, your Mustang logos. I'll set those over here. Oh, I almost forgot. 4 Firestone wide oval pad printed tires, or you can go with black walls if you prefer. I like white letter tires. I've had several cars with white letter tires on them. I just love them. Now you can't hardly find them. All you can find now is black wall tires for your cars. It's just weird. If you do find white letter tires, they still make them, but they're twice as expensive. Well, here's your decal sheet. Pretty straightforward. No surprises here. I do like the separate engine transmission parts. That makes it nice to paint your transmission separate from your engine. I mean, it's not a big deal, but I think you can get a little bit more detail paint on the areas like down in the lower part of the housing there, where the torque converter or the clutch would be, and in this case a clutch. So sometimes it's hard to do that when you have the oil pan in the way, and so I mean, I usually don't have a problem with it, but it is nice to be able to get in there and paint it separately. And let's see if we can find where that trunk lid goes on. Yeah, it just goes on there. It says do not cement, which is weird. At least the hood has the little hinge hooks there. That rear deck lid does not, and I could see that thing just repeatedly falling off. That's kind of weird how they have that. I might have to try my hand at fashioning some hinges for it. I haven't ever done that. I've seen it done, and I've always kind of wanted to try it. So maybe I'll do that. This will be kind of an experiment. Let's see if I can get it right. I'm gonna have to go get the materials for it though. I don't have any brass wire or tubing, but I'm sure I can get that at a hobby store someplace. Alright, well, that's everything. Let's get a little cleanup action going on the body as usual. Once I get that done, a few little sub-assemblies done, we'll head over to the paint booth. We'll lay down some primer and go from there. I'm not sure on the color as of yet. I'm thinking maybe I have some purple. some purple chrome Rust-Oleum paint. I was thinking that, or I just picked up this paint the other day. I don't know if this is going to be any good. I have no experience with this particular paint, but it is an acrylic paint, and it is pretty bright yellow, as you can see through the bottle, and there it is through the cap. It looks like it's going to be a decent paint, a decent color, but I'm not sure if it's going to be a gloss or if it's going to be a matte color. It doesn't say on the bottle at all what color, you know, what style it is, if it's a matte or a gloss. But that's an idea, or maybe this turquoise. But maybe I'll just go with that purple chrome. We'll just have to wait and see how I feel when I get to that point. Alright, let's get started on this. Alright fellas, we're at the step where we put the interior together. I've got everything pretty much pre-painted. I put some bare metal foil here on the dash. Got the decals in for the gauges. I've got the door panels all done. Seats all assembled and painted. I do need to put the silver into the center of the seats here, and I'll just hit that with a gel pen in a minute. Now, there's a couple of different interior setups that you can do in this, and because this car has an opening trunk, I just thought it was fitting that you should put this insert in here. It doesn't show to do that when you put in the seating for, the rear seat. It does come with a blank. Where did I put that? I don't know where I put it. Is this it? Maybe this is it. I think this goes in kind of like this or something along that lines to fill in the back, and I didn't paint this because brain fart. So I'm going to put this in so the trunk has carpeting, and then we're just going to put this all together. Okay fellas, I started to put this together, and because it's multiple pieces, I glued this piece in here as well as the back of the seat and the dash. Then I set it up on the chassis here to kind of get it in the proper alignment, and I've let it set for about half an hour now. So that should be good to go. I am going to have to come in here and touch up some of the paint because I did have to scrape some of the paint for gluing surfaces, and you can see that kind of right in here and a little on this side. So I'll do that here in a little bit. Once all that, I know for sure that all of that is set. This is a good way to do it, rather than trying to fight gluing the side onto the floor and then trying to wiggle all this stuff together. It's easier to just glue it together like this, and then all you have to do is just drop it down in place and you're good to go. Alright, let that sit for a little bit. We still have to do the center console. I have to do this little piece that goes in the back here, and that's part of the floor system. And I'm not sure if they were supposed to be these little tabs on the side. I've already removed the ones here and here on each side. I've left these in place. They're kind of thick, so I'm not sure if they're supposed to be there for some kind of maybe a stability thing to keep the interior from moving around inside the body. It doesn't show on the direction sheet if those are supposed to be in place, so I started to remove them. I'm hoping that I did the right thing. I'm going to snip these off here in a minute once I get this all set to go. So I'll be right back. We'll have this interior finished up by then, and we'll move on to the body. I just did the clear coat just a little bit ago, and I'm letting that cure right now, and still have to do the bare metal foil and all of the body things. So we'll be right back. Welcome to the final on this 1967 Ford Mustang GT Fastback by AMT. Well, fellas, this one is probably one of the best Mustang builds that I've ever done. And I've done a few. This one's the best one I've ever done, certainly on this channel at least. This went together with almost zero flaws. There were a couple, and I'll point those out in a little bit. But the overall stance of this car is nearly perfect. The engine compartment has a good amount of detail and plenty of room for you guys that like to customize to add all of the heater hoses and all the detail that you want to add to the engine compartment. There's plenty of room down there to do that. As you've seen throughout the building process, this does have an opening trunk. I think that this was a great addition to the kit overall, but could have been better if AMT would have included hinges for the deck lid. Now, I would like to have added the hinges myself, but although I've seen it done in different videos, and guys have had videos out there showing how to do it, I haven't really gained the experience yet to actually do the hinges, and I have a kit in the pipeline right now that is going to require them, so I better pony up and figure out how to do this and certainly get the supplies to do it. I don't have the supplies to do it either. I need to go find some brass wire and some other items, but that's coming in the future. The rear fascia also is a little off. It doesn't fit quite flush like it should, but if you don't look too closely, you're not going to see where it's off. I mean, if you really look, you'll see it, but if you just casually look at the car, you don't really see it. And during the final phases of this build, I lost one of the reverse lights. I lost it to time, space, and a carpet monster. I looked all over for that thing. It just disappeared. So, because of that, I substituted the reverse lights with a pair of small gemstones, the smallest ones that I have. And again, if you don't look real close, you won't see that either. But, you know, they do kind of fit the job. Now, switching to the other end of the car, specifically to the grille. Well, the grille is molded in with the front fascia piece. There isn't a separate chrome insert for it or anything like that. And when you paint it, just you paint it. So what I did to make up for that, I took some bare metal foil, I applied that over the grille section, trimmed it in, and then hit it with a coat of the Tamiya black panel line paint to kind of give it some depth. And then I added the I guess you'd call those driving lights. I don't, whatever. And then put those over the top of that, and it looks the part. It looks really good. Now, believe it or not, I showed the paint when I was painting the body. That huge bottle of yellow paint was bought at one of my local Dollar Tree stores for $1.25. Now, I'll be using that paint for the next 3 years. There's a lot of paint there. But I do have another project already in the pipeline that will look perfect in that color. And stay tuned for that, because that's coming. Now, after I shot the paint on there, I shot a single coat of the, well, I used the floor polish on that, the future floor polish. And I mixed in some mica pearl powder. I've used it on a couple of different builds now, so I have a little bit of it left over. So I shot a single coat of the mica pearl powder clear coat. Whew, that's a mouthful. Shot one coat over that, and then I followed that up with just 2 coats of just plain future floor polish. And it looks pretty good. I think I could have probably gotten away with 1 or 2 more coats, but it does look pretty good just as it sits right now. I do love the yellow and black theme. I think that goes very well together, just like an orange and black would kind of go together. But what do you guys think? Leave me a comment down in the comment section and let me know how you feel about the yellow and black, or basically how you feel about how this build turned out. Well, this build is done, and I hope that you enjoyed this build video. If you did, go ahead and click that thumbs up button. It helps the YouTube algorithm to share my content, which helps the channel grow. If you have any questions or comments, please write those in the comment section below, and I'll be happy to respond as soon as possible. I love reading your comments. You guys leave some great comments, I should say. Comments. But go ahead and leave me one. As always, be sure to follow me on Facebook, or you can drop me a line at scaleoutaguy@gmail.com. If you want more videos like this one, make sure to hit that subscribe button below, and make sure to hit the bell icon so that you'll be notified when I post new videos. Thanks for watching Scale Out a Guy's Workbench, and I'll see you on the next build.